All right, guys. So there was an interesting story that came out yesterday about how Defund the Police advocate and radical extremist Cori Bush's car got shot at in St. Louis, Missouri. And I have some commentary on this as I find the irony here to be absolutely incredible. So let's go ahead and watch the news clip before we get into this. Take a look.
A vehicle belonging to Congresswoman Cori Bush was hit by gunfire over the weekend. 5 on Your Side political editor Casey Nolan broke this story this morning, and now you have an update for us, Casey.
Yeah, that's right, Ann. We're told the car was parked, the Congresswoman was not in it at the time, and most importantly, we're told no one was hurt. Now, a source close to the Congresswoman told me this happened overnight, early this past Saturday morning here in St. Louis. Congress is not in session right now. I'm told this was her official vehicle. At least one gunshot hit it, but those close to the situation do not believe Bush was targeted. They say there was evidence that someone had tried to break into other cars in the area around the same time the Congresswoman's car was hit. We reached out to Cori Bush, and she told us in a statement, like far too many of us in St. Louis, experiencing gun violence is all too familiar. Thankfully, no one was harmed, but any act of gun violence shakes you to your soul, shakes your soul, she wrote. And she went on to say no one should have to fear for their safety here in St. Louis, and that is exactly why our movement is working every day to invest in our communities, eradicate the root causes of gun violence, and keep every neighborhood safe. Bush's team tells me they did file a police report. We have reached out to police. They tell us they are looking into it. Ann?
Coming out.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I want to say it is a good thing that Miss Cori Bush was not in the car while it was being shot, and I'm glad that she's okay. Now that that's over with, my first question is, I wonder who committed this, right? Who shot this Congresswoman's car? Because according to her, the biggest threat in this country is the so-called white supremacists. And she said that they were not just a threat to the country, but also to her district. Take a look.
Madam Speaker, St. Louis and I rise in support of the article of impeachment against Donald J. Trump. If we fail to remove a white supremacist president who incited a white supremacist insurrection, it's communities like Missouri's 1st District that suffer the most. The 117th Congress must understand that we have a mandate to legislate in defense of Black lives. The first step in that process is to root out white supremacy, starting with impeaching the white supremacist in chief. Thank you, and I yield back.
All right, guys. So I bet every dollar in my bank account that a so-called white supremacist did not shoot up Cori Bush's vehicle. I guarantee you, the person that shot at her vehicle, that if she would have been inside, she probably could have died, right? I guarantee you that was not a white supremacist. Matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that they probably weren't white, right? Statistically speaking, they probably weren't white, okay? But again, if you listen to somebody like her talk, all she tells you all day is that, well, this the white supremacists. It's the white supremacists. They're the biggest threat to this country. When she is from a crime-ridden district, her city is one of the most dangerous cities in this country. At one point last year, it was ranked 3rd in violent crime and one of the 4th most dangerous places to live in this country, right? It's not even safe to live in. It's not even safe to live in Missouri. But yet, she's the one up here talking about, oh, well, it's the white supremacist's fault. Everything is white supremacy. Again, my question is, was this white supremacy? Because I guarantee you it wasn't. But she'll go ahead and tell people, well, no, the biggest threat to black folks are white supremacists, not the fools out here committing gun violence and crimes and these gangs and stuff. Not those people. Not the people that shot up her car, right? Those people are not the biggest threat. It's Trump. Trump's the biggest threat. And, you know, I got a whole lot more energy for this video because I just find it fascinating here how Cori Bush not only had her car shut up in her own district, right? And then comes out here and doesn't give the same energy towards gun violence that she's given towards so-called white supremacy, right? She just gives a little statement like, oh, okay, you know, we gotta do what we can to stop gun violence, blah, blah. But she ain't coming out here giving no passionate speeches about it. The same way she did for so-called white supremacy, right? She claims that people like Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene are threats to her, but not people in her own district, right? Who, in my opinion, could have been an attempt on her life, right? If she was actually in the car, okay? Could have been an attempt on her life. What I also find fascinating is how This is the same person that is an advocate of defunding the police. It's probably one of the main people who want to defund the police, right? And I just want to remind you guys of something that she said a few months back when she was crying on TV about how she felt like her life was in danger, again, from the so-called white supremacists, and trying to use that to justify why she pays for thousands of dollars in private security while also still advocating to defund the police. Take a look.
The thing, I won't let them get that off. You can't get that off. I'm going to make sure I have security because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend 10 more dollars on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police and put that money into social safety nets.
Yeah, so if that's the case, if we have to defund the police, then why did you call the police, right? Why did you file a police report, right? If the police need to be defunded, right? If what you want in your ideal world happens, why did you file a police report? Why did you go to police? Why didn't you just let it slide, right? Why did you focus on, I don't know, calling a social service worker, right? Why did you do that? Why did you call the police? Because when you defund the police don't really have the resources and time to respond to crimes like your vehicle being shot up, right? But when, Cori Bush's vehicle gets shot up, oh, no, we need the police, right? We need the police to investigate this. We need to get to the bottom of this because her life is in danger, right? Her life could have potentially been taken. Don't y'all see how this works? These people will come up here and tell you the opposite of what they actually really believe, right? Private security for her, okay? But no police for everybody else in her district that is crime-ridden. One of the most dangerous places to live in this country. No police for them, but police for me, right? Private security for me. When my car gets shot up, even though I wasn't in it, I'm going to call the police. I want the police to investigate this, right? We're going to get to the bottom of it. And I guarantee you, if they found a person that did it, she probably would want that person to go to jail. She wouldn't just want the person to get a slap on the wrist to get out on no bail, right? She wouldn't want that. She would want that person to do some time. But again, everybody else, though, let's abolish prisons, okay? No bail, right? No police. Again, these people are hypocrites, man. And again, I just find an irony here in regards to how her car got shot up in her city, right? A city that she represents, a district that she represents, got shot up. But yet, she's coming out here telling us that the biggest threat on her life is white supremacy. Really? Right? The biggest threat on your life is white supremacy? I don't think so. The biggest threat on your life is the same people that live in your district, right? The biggest threat in your life are the thugs and the criminals that are running your city. The biggest threat in your life is the policies that you push, like defunding the police. That is the biggest threat on your life. Everything else that you're talking about is not really a threat on your life. It's not. Again, this is the first legitimate circumstance in which I've seen Cori Bush actually could have been in some danger. And lo and behold, again, it wasn't from white supremacists. Or at the very least, if I had to bet money, it wasn't. Right? If I had to bet money, it was not from a white supremacist. So, again, I found this to be fascinating. How a lot of these defund the police advocates, this is not the first story I'll cover about this. They're experiencing crime in their own districts, right? They are becoming the victims of their own policy, right? It happened to a Democrat, I think, out in Philadelphia, and another Democrat. Again, it's kind of crazy how they're weeping what they sow, right? It's kind of crazy. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.